Coming up on today's show, Game of Thrones fans are excited as we get our first glimpse of the new HBO series, House of the Dragon. We take a look at the latest Netflix series that is taking the world by storm. And with No Time to Die finally in cinemas, we sit down with Rami Malek and Seydoux to talk all things Bond. But first, there's only one place to start this week, and the first trailer for House of the Dragon has got Game of Thrones fans very excited. Yes, the Targaryens are back, and this week we got our first look at HBO's Game of Thrones spin-off series, House of the Dragon. Taking place 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon will tell the story of the beginning of the end of the famous House of Targaryen in the build-up to the Targaryen Civil War. Paddy Considine, Emma Darcy, Matt Smith, Olivia Cook and Rhys Ifans are all joining the Seven Kingdoms in this hugely anticipated prequel to George R.R. Martin's TV phenomenon. House of the Dragon is coming to HBO next year. And from one hugely successful TV show to another, Squid Game is just the latest Netflix series that's taking the world by storm. When you think of essential family viewing, you probably don't think of a brutal South Korean survival show. And as well as it fast becoming the TV show that everybody's talking about, Netflix's Squid Game has become the #1 show in an astonishing 90 countries, with Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos claiming it could become Netflix's biggest show ever. If you've not been watching the show, then seriously, where have you been? The series follows the hapless gambling addict Sun Ji-hung, who takes part in a series of brutal and violent children's games in order to win a huge sum of cash. If they fail in their attempts to win the game, they die. Squid Game has become the surprise hit of 2021 and has shocked and stunned fans around the world with its clever writing and brutal scenes. As of yet, there hasn't been a second series confirmed, but rumours are circulating that a second series could be making its way to Netflix by the end of next year. Squid Game is available to watch on Netflix, and if you, like the rest of the world, have become addicted to it, let us know in the comments below. But now we're finishing with the man who's not just busy saving the world, he's also potentially saving cinema. No Time to Die is finally in cinemas, and fans of 007 have been blown away by the events that take place in Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond. As we all know, the 25th edition to the James Bond franchise had been pushed back multiple times due to the COVID pandemic. But the studio have been rewarded for their patience, with the movie already taking a post-COVID record-breaking £88 million in its first week. And that's before it's even been released in the US. Fans are desperate to see what lies in store for James Bond as Daniel Craig says farewell to the role, leaving as the longest-serving Bond. And we caught up with Rami Malek and Seydoux to find out who they'd like to see replace Daniel Craig.
I'm going to ask you something you guys are probably sick of answering already. I'm sure you've been asked this a lot today, but it's time for a new Bond. Who would you both like to see as the next James Bond?
I would love to see like a new Bond, like something unexpected. He will have to be very different from Daniel. That's all I...
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Look, I guess, it's going to be quite some time, I think, before we see a new Bond. It's not the next year or two. It's going to evolve. The world's going to evolve. Things are going to change. And I think we'll all be more accepting of unexpected Bonds, so to speak.
Well, there you have it. According to Rami Malek, we should expect the unexpected. And as Daniel Craig puts down his Walther PPK for the last time, we asked Rami Malek where he thinks Craig ranks on the list as the ultimate James Bond.
This is Daniel's last Bond film, we all know that. I'd be really interested to hear from both of you where he ranks as the list of all the ultimate James Bond. Where do you think Daniel Craig ranks?
Look, I mean, for me, the guy is easily #1. And I can tell you that from experience. I mean, I never got to work with Connery or more Dalton, Brosnan, or Lazenby. I can't believe I remembered that, but I will say when you see that man when the camera's on, even when in between takes, I'm sure you'll agree. You feel that you're acting with James Bond, and there's no question that he is the most capable, efficient leader that you could ask for, not only as an actor but as a character. But I would say especially Daniel. There's something quite special about him and his talent and what he gives and how he elevates everyone's game day in and day out.
For what it's worth, Rami, we agree with you. And if you haven't yet, make sure you check out our first ever worst to best video on our channel, where we rank all the actors who have played Ian Fleming's world famous spy from worst to best. I can't believe it's finally time to say goodbye to Daniel Craig as James Bond. But who would you like to replace him? Let us know in the comments below. But that's it for this week, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you never miss another video. And we'll see you next week for another episode of The Roundup. See ya!